Hello and welcome to your channeled message. I have a very specific message for someone who has lost their grandmother on the other side. This feels like a very close relationship. It may have not happened in the physical realm, although that is a possibility, but maybe as your grandmother has passed or crossed over to the other side, you have developed this very strong sense of connection with her. Maybe she drops you a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities, or maybe you just feel her presence. I feel as though there is this guiding force since you have lost your grandmother, since she has crossed over, where she's almost taking control of your life, where you may not even recognize it. This may not be a soul recognition at all, but your grandmother is right here. Um, I was seeing on the bottom, I have my Death Speaks cards. And on the bottom of the deck, we have We Are Still Connected. And that's telling me that maybe you are unaware that, like, sometimes the bottom of the deck is this subconscious block or unawareness, that you two are still connected. And she is this guiding force in your life where you don't have to worry, you don't have to struggle. And we are going to get into this reading a little bit more, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Michaela, here with the Cosmic Rose Activation, and I help women to step into their dream life through the wisdom of the divine feminine. As with any message, take what resonates and leave the rest. And let's get into it. So, one of the first things that I am seeing is that your grandparents are concerned about you. Maybe your grandfather has not passed. Again, taking what resonates, leaving the rest. But your grandfather's higher self, your grandma and your grandpa, are concerned about you in the astral realm. And we had picked the Ace of Cups in reverse, and I have the Two of Swords here. You are up against some difficult decision. There is something that is weighing on your heart, on your mind. And I see that you may be living in this deep state of avoidance without even knowing it. Again, this is the subconscious block. When we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, this is about some kind of blockage, something that you can't see. Maybe you're not seeing a creative solution to the situation that you're in. In my mind's eye, I am seeing your sacral chakra, and it is moving very slowly and almost sluggishly. And what I'm seeing is that there have been possibilities or opportunities presented to you, but you are in this deep state of survival mode. I'm also seeing your root chakra as a side note, and there's this pie shape kind of almost taken out of it, almost like it needs to heal. Um, so we'll talk about that a little bit. What I'm picking up on is you are in this deep state of survival. So there may be something about a career change. Maybe you are taking the leap of faith to create something that you know is going to bring you a lot of abundance or a lot of fulfillment. Or maybe there's something about your physical world. So maybe this is a relationship. Maybe you're making the decision to leave a relationship, or you have recently. And there's a lot of scarcity mindset going on in your life. You are feeling contracted. You are feeling scared about this next phase of your life, this next chapter. And although it may feel scary, your grandmother is right here. Again, the bottom of the deck. We are still connected. She is on this journey with you. She is holding your hand, but your grandparents are worried about you because I am seeing that there was some kind of practices that you used to do, some things that you used to implement in your life, in an old chapter of your life. And you're going to know exactly what this is, either because she is going to make it very prominent, or as I speak about it, your intuition is already speaking. Trust your intuition and know that I am only a guide for you. So if there is something that you feel you know you've been missing, it is time for you to revisit this in a new and embodied version of yourself. I see that as you have made this decision to make the career change, to leave the partnership, whatever the situation has been, you have grown tremendously. And your guides are so happy and pleased and excited with everything that you have done. But in the process, you have lost yourself. You have lost pieces of yourself. You may have noticed that you are a little bit more angry or you're a little bit more resentful. One of the cards that I picked up was no anger, no anger, and your heart will heal. This is telling me that you are working on getting yourself into alignment, but there are some misalignments, some misalignments. And why this is happening is because there is this root chakra imbalance. You are not feeling safe enough to do the old practices that made you feel like you. And so therefore, this is this kind of concerned energy. Your grandparents are wanting you to really focus in on more of the practices that make you you, more of the practices that help you. So you may be listening to these tarot card readings, you may listen to podcasts and stuff like that. I'm seeing that there is time for expansion right now. That although this 3D reality seems very important, there might be financial pressure, there may be pressure to hustle. Your grandmother wants you to know that it is okay to stop. In my meditation, that was one of the biggest things I saw was like this big red stop sign saying stop. It is okay to take time for yourself. It is okay to do the inner work, because I feel like I am speaking to a collective that knows that when you work on your insides, when you work on your conscious block or subconscious blocks or whatever, like anger or resentments, when you transmute that energy and you begin to alchemize it, you naturally watch your life flow to you effortlessly and easily. Yet, I see that there has been a trigger recently where you have been so focused on manifesting through the 3D reality, through your physical action. And that is beautiful. And what I'm seeing is there's a need to begin to drop into the energetics again, to really come back to these practices that make you feel you. And if you guys want, maybe comment down below. What are some practices that you feel like you have lost or that feel really fulfilling to you? What is it for you that helps? That could be journaling, that could be meditating, that could be prayer, it could be maybe yoga or some kind of physical activity. What is it that brings life back to your body, life back to your soul? What is your internal calling that maybe has been lost recently? The reason you might be experiencing a lot of blockages or roadblocks in your path right now is actually because of this deep state of avoidance, avoiding doing the inner work, avoiding doing the practices that actually make you feel you. And you may have been knocking on the door recently, understanding that you need to integrate these pieces back into yourself, finding the practices that make you feel you. And yet, there's something about your fear that is making you feel like you can't do this right now. Like there is more important work to be done. And this is like the reminder that your grandma really wants you to know right now is that you have time and there is unlimited time available to you. But because you are stuck in this state of survival, you are locked in, there is um, just this feeling of not being safe enough to do the inner work. And she wants you to know that your dream life is on the other side of you putting yourself first. If you cannot prioritize your needs, if you cannot prioritize your mental health, your well being, how do you expect the rest of your life to unfold? Because say you do get the financial abundance that you want, but your mental health is not well, or if some of you may have struggled with addiction and maybe you're up against maybe a relapse because your mental health isn't well. There's all sorts of different varieties of ways that we cope, right? There's something about making sure that you and your spiritual well-being is right and knowing that everything else will fall into place. As you begin to raise your vibration, as you begin to come back home, as you begin to label these blockages and understand that that is this hurt little girl within you that is simply afraid, you are going to step into this next version of yourself, your embodied version of yourself. A card I had picked says, "Nothing is lost." And this is telling me is I feel as though you feel like you're off track, that there isn't enough time to produce what you're trying to produce, that you don't have the resources or the support in order to create what you're trying to create. And it almost feels like you're beating yourself up over lost opportunities or shutting down opportunities that maybe would have brought you in a solution. But she wants you to know that everything that you have done up until this point needed to happen. Everything that you have done, even if you feel like you have lost yourself recently, even if you feel like you're not doing the internal work and you want to beat yourself up about it, she wants you to know you are exactly where you need to be. And what I'm seeing is that this is an ending cycle. What you are going through right here in this moment is actually causing you so much turmoil, so much inner pain, so much agony and despair that it's forcing you to rebirth yourself. I have the Three of Wands here, and this card is about preparation and progress. It's about foresight. It's about expansion. And what I see is you are in a lot of pain right now. You are hurting. There's a lot of programming that came from your childhood, that came from when you were younger. And I could cry about this. There are programs running you rampant and closing out multiple opportunities to you at this time. And so if you begin to sit with yourself and you begin to label what is going on and use your awareness throughout your day of just noticing, where am I shutting out opportunities? Where am I acting as this hurt, wounded little girl? Where am I trying to be perfect instead of vulnerable and raw? Where am I giving to people when I don't have enough to give to myself yet? Really looking at the work that needs to be done, finding your process of what works for you. When you begin to label these processes, you are going to help yourself to release it and watch how your life radically changes. There is a need for you to find new education, new curriculum at this time. So identifying the problem, what is it for you? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it pressure? What is going on? And maybe just type it into YouTube. Maybe just type it in to the algorithm of Instagram or something and look for inspiration. Look for somebody to guide you. Joe Dispenza always says, in the age of technology, ignorance is a choice. And right now, what I'm seeing is that you are, oh my God, that's so beautiful. You had these handcuffs on your wrists, and you're breaking free from it. You are finding the solution. And the solution is not for you to push harder and work harder. You have done that. You have been doing the work. You have been showing up, right? But there is something about you needing to get your energy correct, get your energy right, and watch how fast your life begins to manifest. Ooh, I'm getting full body chills, you guys. I see that resentment may be a big thing for you right now, that you may be feeling very angry about the position that you're in. Whatever the circumstances are, I see that you are really struggling to rise out of the ashes right now. Maybe because life is not unfolding the way that you had expected it to. And there are a lot of people that maybe made your path a lot more difficult, or maybe you are really struggling with your childhood patterns right now. And, um, maybe want to blame the people that had harmed you or helped you with these subconscious programs. And one of the cards that I have here is no anger and that your heart will heal. A download that is coming through right now is remembering to really have compassion with yourself, first of all. Understand that you do not need to have all of the answers right here, right now. And the woman that you are becoming at this moment is so amazing. If you look back at 2 years ago, compared to the version of who you are today, I'm sure you can get full body chills. I'm sure there's emotions there. You have honed your craft. You have honed who you are. You have become this most expansive version of yourself. And no, it has not been easy. No, it has not. But you have done the work. You have done the things that you needed to do in order to make it happen. Therefore, you have always had yourself. And these patterns that you may be struggling with right now, although they feel very real, they are like glasses over your vision, over your eyes. And they are filtering out your entire existence right now. You are seeing your life through the lens of this programming. And there is a need for you to clean the glasses, for you to release this vision. Because reality is reality. You cannot change it. You cannot morph it. What is happening in this world is true, is right. But it is our projection that a lot of times isn't wrong, it isn't bad, but it filters out the way that we truly see life. And I'm seeing your body in my mind's eye right now, and you are calling in all of these different opportunities, and they're actually approaching you, they're coming to you. But because of your programming, because of your limited view in this moment, you're actually rejecting them. You're saying, no, I can't do that. Or I really see that this is a fear-based programming where you may be afraid to take certain opportunities. Maybe because you don't believe in yourself, or maybe you had tried certain things in the past and they didn't work out so well. But again, you have refined yourself since then. You have become a different version of yourself. And as you begin to clean your glasses, as you begin to get the muck off, you begin to start to be able to see through the lenses more clearly, you're going to see that there have been opportunities surrounding you this entire time, just waiting for you to attune yourself to them. It's kind of like a radio frequency here. I'm going to explain this just a little bit. When you have a radio, you can tune in to all sorts of different channels. You can listen to rock, you can listen to country, you can listen to, all sorts of different types of music, or maybe like a podcast or something like that nature. And as the radio is only responsible to tune into different channels. So if you want to put on country, you put on country, and then all of a sudden it tunes into that frequency and it radiates country. And you are this radio. All you need to do is place yourself into the frequency of opportunities. Begin to expand your mind. One of my favorite mantras right now is I open myself up to creative possibilities, to abundance. Now, it may not look exactly as what you're thinking, but thank God. They say the most blessed position you can be in is the unknown. Allow yourself to be in the unknown. Allow yourself to explore options. And I think what's going on, what I'm seeing is that there is this control piece. You want things to happen the way that you want them to because that is going to make you feel safe. That is your ego's way of controlling, or this little girl that needs a little bit more self-soothing. And actually, there are so many opportunities being presented to you. So right now, what might be best is to get really clear on what would clear up your issue. What is the problem? Is it a financial issue? So then get clear. I need $10,000 a month to be able to live a more expansive life. If it's maybe an issue with your children, maybe you need to have a job but don't have anybody to watch the children, or you don't have the financial resources, right? Maybe you set out into the universe, I need a flexible job. Whatever it is, really get clear, get defined, and write it down on a piece of paper. I think you know what you want. I think you know what you need, but explore this a little bit more. Use your conscious mind to visualize it, right? And watch how fast, if you begin to open your mind, the opportunities that are being presented to you. Every day, there is a new opportunity. Every day, something can happen that will literally shift your entire life within moments. And all you have to do is shift into that frequency. We have the judgment card here. Whatever you're going through is actually leading you to this deepest inner fulfillment. You are going to be led exactly where you're supposed to go. So if you feel like you have been hitting a lot of roadblocks recently, maybe opening your mind to creative possibilities will be helpful, right? Sometimes we keep pushing up against a brick wall, and it's not unfolding the way that we want it or we need it to. Therefore, we almost either cause unmanageability in our life or we give up completely. But maybe there are other solutions to what you want. I'll give you an example in my own personal life right now. I have been creating content for a long time. I have been showing up consistently. I have been trying to get myself out there. And for whatever reason, I have hit so many roadblocks. So many roadblocks. It's been insane. And one of the things that I am learning is I had yet to show up authentically as Michaela. And so Spirit did not want me producing content that was fake, that was using AI, that was using all of the things that are not Michaela. The world does not need a copy printed version of who I think you guys need. The world needs Michaela. The world needs the way that I think about things, the way that I process things. And what I'm understanding is, as I channel, is that this is the version of me that you guys need in order for me to be able to expand, in order for you to be able to expand. We don't need more AI in this world. We need more of a authentic version of ourselves. And because I'm sharing that, I almost feel like Spirit wants me to kind of hone in on that a little bit. What I am seeing for you too as well is there may be ways that you have been hiding. There may be ways that you have been saying yes when you really mean no. Maybe there are people that are asking you for money, or people that are trying to get you to do certain events or go to a party or whatever. And you say yes because you're inclined to, because you want to make people happy. And Spirit really wants you to practice being authentic to yourself, being aware of what your thoughts, your desires are, and then act on that. Allow people to be disappointed, allow people to not understand, allow yourself the space to do what it is that you truly want. Because what I'm seeing right now is the red string theory. You are literally being led to your destiny, judgment card, your rebirth, your inner calling. But because you have been people pleasing so much, you are literally changing the trajectory of your life. You want to do one thing, and yet you are doing another thing because you think that's what you should be doing. You're thinking that's what other people want you to do. Right now, one of the greatest solutions for your situation is actually doing what you want and allowing people to be mad. And it's not easy, right? When we have these underlying core wounds of needing to people please, because as a child, maybe you needed to hide who you were in order to keep the peace or to be loved, right? But if you can learn to love that little girl, see her, and then guide her through the process, guide her through it. Who do you want to be? Is it somebody that can hold a lot of wealth? Well, then start acting like her. How does that person walk? She probably holds her shoulders back and down. Heart is forward and lifted. She probably is able to be confident and have strong conversations and have boundaries. Who is this woman that you are cultivating? And in that, begin to act like her. Begin to show the world who you truly are. What I'm seeing is oh my gosh, it's like Scooby-Doo, when they take the mask off. This is beautiful. This is what I'm seeing for you. You are taking the mask off of everything that has ever been projected to you, and you are becoming your most authentic, most vulnerable, most kick-ass self. And that is what's going to get you out of this situation. That is what's going to help you to become successful, to get the finances that you need, to build your dream life. Whatever you are calling in is on the other side of how authentic and vulnerable you are. I am feeling really good here. I have Moonology manifestation cards here. I'm going to shuffle and just grab a couple, feeling inclined to use those. That's beautiful. Last quarter moon in Capricorn, leave the past behind. So, yeah, again, looking at your childhood, understanding where is this programming coming from, and learn to embody this new version of yourself. Maybe you can find a meditation, or maybe you can find a mentor that will help you to break free of these shackles, to break free of whatever is holding you back. And again, like I say, just type it into YouTube. How do I break free of this pattern? How do I, whatever it is that you're looking for, there are answers, and it is so easily accessible. I'm feeling like one more card of these Moonologies. New moon in Aries, go for it. Go for it. Okay, that's the last thing that I want to mention is a lot of times when we hit these roadblocks, we think, oh, okay, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And I may have even said something that maybe gave you the rite of passage, like, oh, okay, I can give up on this. Sometimes the thing that is meant for you, you're going to have roadblocks until you're able to embody it. And it's a matter of reprogramming your nervous system in order to be able to handle that level of success, in order to be able to handle that level of abundance. And so although you may feel like giving up, this may be your sign. Don't give up just yet. Keep knocking on the door, but begin to reprogram your subconscious. When you are doing whatever it is, keep taking time to sit with yourself. Give yourself 60 to 90 seconds. That's all it takes to shut down your eyes when you're knocking on that door, when you are doing something that makes you afraid, when you are doing something that maybe is out of your comfort zone, and feel the fear. Notice, are you holding it in your jaw, your temples, behind your eyes? What are you doing with your glutes? Are you squeezing them? Are you holding it in your heart space? And just notice it. Don't follow any story. Just notice it. Just feel it to the fullest of your ability. And then keep knocking on the door. Go out and do it. And do this as often as you can. And what you are doing is you are reprogramming your mind that it is safe to expand, that it is safe to do the things that make you scared. And with that, you are literally going to manifest your life. Again, I just want to remind you, you are exactly where you need to be. You are, even if you feel like you have made so many mistakes recently, even if you feel like you have lost yourself, you needed to go through this. You had to go through this, and this is all part of the divine plan in order to get you exactly where you want to go. I am feeling so concluded, wrapped up here. If you want a little bit more guidance on any situation, I have readings for love, manifestation, career, one-on-ones on Zoom. So go ahead and check the description down below. And with that, I am sending you guys so much love, and I will see you in one of my next readings. Bye.